want to know what the best way is to destroy the wokies? Give them a microphone and keep them talking. Ladies and gents, hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, because this right here has all the makings of the worst Disney flop ever. And quite frankly, if we're being honest, watching Disney stumble and fall and fail is way more entertaining than going to the movies nowadays anyway. And this time when it comes to Snow White, we are all going to switch sides, aren't we? Because we're rooting for the witch in this movie. No one cares about Snow White, not like it matters anyway, because no one is going to see this garbage. Disney's like, yikes, we lost over $1 billion at the box office. And then also Disney is like, let's keep making movies nobody wants to see. Great idea. And let's spend as little as much money on Snow White's costume, which looks like a cheap costume made in China and fulfilled by Amazon. And don't you think it's oddly poetic that Disney's final breaths are full of insults at the very classics that gave them life in the first place? Currently, Disney is standing on the shoulders of Walt Disney's excellence. And now they're just pissing on him. What a disgusting company. Now, the whole reason I'm making this video is because of this clip. And no, I'm not going to play the clip for you, because my God, it's the cringiest thing I have ever seen. But this is what happens when too many people tell this young lady how amazing and how perfect and brave she is. She's just super high off her own supply, and I'm not surprised. Maybe she's just bitter because no man could love her as much as she loves herself. Rachel Zegler, I don't know how to say her name, essentially uttered the words, Snow White doesn't need no prince. Really? Snow White doesn't need no prince. Yeah, and guess what? Snow White without a prince is just a story about a chick who sleeps all day. Yeah, because we all want to see that. And here's a basic universal truth. Something you probably should have learned in acting class, but here it is. Love stories between a man and a woman are timeless and don't need, quote, fixing. But you know what's funny? In 2023, women all over the world, according to this person, no longer want true love. I mean, how rather sad is that thought? Our descendants will apparently die with us. I mean, does Disney really think that a man and a woman falling in love is old-fashioned? These idiots have no business making a movie, but you know what's hilarious? Is that the majority of Rachel's target audience actually do want to marry a millionaire and live the, quote, princess lifestyle. Let me repeat that again. The women who Zegler is aiming this woke narrative for yearn for the day that a millionaire wakes them up from a slumber and whisks them away to live a carefree life. If you moronic, dense cretins would stop dousing your head with green paint, you would actually realize that. This is something you actually want anyway. In this clip, she said, the prince is a stalker. You know, I had to rewind and listen to that like 4 times. You can't be that stupid. The prince is rescuing Snow White. Is a fireman a stalker when he rescues a woman from a burning building? Or is an EMT a stalker when he resuscitates a heart attack victim? The amount of arrogance and ignorance of this girl is astounding. It's very clear that you don't actually respect or like the story. So if you don't want to tell the story, then make it somebody else's story. But that's the thing, you can't, because you have no originality and you have no balls. You can't create your own artistic work, so you have to reuse beloved movies from the past and then butcher it beyond recognition. I find it somewhat funny because these people are just so void of talent, so void of personality whatsoever. And just to put a pin on this, Snow White isn't a story about a man saving a woman. It's about true love saving a person. But you wouldn't know that because your movie has no romance, no dwarves, not being saved by the prince, just another wham-man empowerment girl boss movie that bastardizes a beloved fairy tale. You know, I'm kind of baffled that they're still calling it Snow White because they've practically removed every core detail that makes it Snow White. Snow White gets her name due to her very pale skin. That's a pretty simple concept. Anyway, the 7 dwarves who take in Snow White in her time of need and cared for her like a family member. No, that's no longer in this movie. You can't have more than than one dwarf apparently. It's offensive and Disney wants more diversity. Explain to me the thought process of casting one dwarf instead of 7. Oh my god, anyway. An old simple fairy tale about finding love and getting happily ever after. You can't have that, says Disney, because we need to have a girl boss role model who just slays like a queen and shows all the other girls how it's done by displaying zero personality aside from being better than everybody for the millionth time. Instead of remaking and politicizing classics, write something new. There's an idea, and they are really destroying themselves every time a movie comes out. It's just so sad and pathetic. This is a major fail from Disney, and what they're doing really is Orwellian and disrespectful and lazy. There's no reason to mess with fairy tales. Why not just come up with something original? You know, Disney used to be a highlight of family viewing. Now it's just a mere shadow of itself. Walt Disney must be rolling like a rotisserie chicken in his grave. You know, his legacy, Walt Disney's legacy, is corrupted at the point of no return, and on that bombshell, Mannix out!